All right. Well, let's get started. Um, First of all, thank you all for being here. Some of you I've seen several times over the past 8 weeks, and some of you I have not seen for 8 weeks. And it's all good. The part of this class is just having that flexibility of kind of participating with the class in the way that worked the best for you. Basically, tonight is just about kind of putting a button on the end of our work from the last 8 weeks, getting a chance to get some closure on our projects, and to share a little bit about what we've been working on for the past 8 weeks. And then I just have a couple of sort of final details to go over in terms of finishing the course out. As we head into the end of this 8 week session. So, first of all, just to kind of, recap the course, the goal of this class, recognizing that it is only a half a semester class, and that is a very short amount of time to really get into depth on things. But it was really about the image I like to keep in my mind is that of kind of expanding your toolboxes, regardless of what subject area you're going into in terms of your future or present teaching experiences. Technology, it's going to be unavoidable. Technology is going to be a piece of what you're doing. Knowing how to use technology effectively is critical. Understanding what technology has to offer in terms of providing opportunities for interactivity and just different ways to approach certain topics. With the experience of the last several years of realizing that through technology we can actually keep education going even if we can't be in person, is important too. But also, and maybe this sounds a little weird coming from a technology education instructor, but also to realize that technology is not always the solution. And the key to technology working well is to make sure that you're using it for a reason, that you know why you're using it, you understand what you're trying to get the technology to do for you, as opposed to the other way around, which unfortunately happens all too often, which is that we are asked to somehow shape our instruction to meet some piece of technology that's been given to us. And it should always be the other way around. You need to have a design in mind, a plan, an understanding of what your goals are. And then if technology is going to be the tool that will help you get to those goals, um, then you want to use it in a very deliberate way. So in 8 weeks, we've talked about design, we've talked about instructional design models, we've talked about how to plan for instruction, we've talked about setting SMART goals so that we know very clearly at the lesson level, at the unit level, at the course level, what specifically are we trying to get our students to be able to show that they can do, and how are we measuring that? We talked about actually incorporating technology into instruction through social media, through multimedia, through interactive media, through all of these different tools that technology gives us. And then over the last week, taking a look at that final piece of the evaluation side of things, the assessment side of things, and getting a bit of an understanding about how incorporating technology into assessment can oftentimes change or alter your plans for how assessment can happen or what you need to be doing in order to get valid results. So it's been a lot. It's 8 weeks is flown by, and we've covered a lot of ground in that time. I do want to say, and I tell this to all my classes at the end, is I'm not really planning on going anywhere. If as you leave this class, as you go into the rest of the year, as a number of you are going into student teaching or finishing up and heading into the teaching workforce, or you're already in the teaching workforce, feel free to use me as a resource if you ever have technology questions or want to just bounce some ideas off of somebody in terms of wanting to get an outside look on something related to technology. I'm here. My email address at the university will not change, so just know that you can always reach out to me if you wish. So the first thing I would like to do is, and I've kind of, I will admit, over the last few years been a little lax with this, and I've seen the results at the other end. But there is, uh, as hopefully you all know, you've received an email. CCSU has the course evaluations. It's actually as a part of Blackboard. So if you log into the main Blackboard page, you should see something there called My Course Eval. And that is where you will find the course evaluation for this course. It's only going to be open, I think, for the next week. And then when we roll into the second 8 weeks, they close it. And the issue is that if I don't get a 50% return response on it, then I don't get to see any of the results. They only release the results of these surveys to the instructors if they get over 50% of the students. So what I would like to do, and some of you may have already completed this, in which case, thank you for doing that. But as per sort of the recommendation of the university, I want to give maybe 10 minutes here at the start of class to give people a chance to complete that course evaluation. And then what we will do is once people have had a chance to do that, we will do our brief presentations about your lesson plan projects. And if we all keep it to 2 to 4 minutes or so, I mean, I hesitate to even call these presentations, but more of just like a quick overview. We will go through those, and with the number of people here, we should be able to get through that in less than an hour. And then I'll just wrap things up for the night with a little bit of a talk about when final due dates are on everything and grades and stuff like that. So why don't we do this? It's 7:30 on the dot right now. I would say take the time to complete the evaluation. They say it should take 10 to 15 minutes tops. So I don't imagine we're gonna need to spend more time on that. And what I think the best way to do this is when let's see, when you get finished with it, or if you are already finished, just do this. Just raise your hand in the class in WebEx. Just put your hand up, and that way I can see when everybody has completed it. And once I see that we've got all hands up, then we will move on to taking care of the rest of the evening. All right. So just take a few minutes. You can stay here in the room. I'm not going to shut the room down, but just go into Blackboard, go to My Course Eval, take care of that. And then, like I said, when you come back, throw that hand up, and we will then go on from there. All right. So we'll hopefully be back in about 10-15 minutes or so, but I'll keep my eye on the room, so don't go anywhere too far if you do get finished, because once I see everybody's back, we will continue on. All right, so thank you in advance. Take a few minutes to get this evaluation done.